Hello everyone. Welcome back to Dragon Age 2. Last time I streamed this, we just went into the Deep Roads expedition and became wealthy, apparently. I'm no longer a commoner. So I need to go get my companions to open the chests and whatnot.
Oh my
so
god.
I'll make a mental note there. Okay, so I've made a name for myself.
Seamus, wasn't it? The Viscount's boy?
You're here rather often, Sirrah Hawke. A good influence, I think. Even by not taking sides, you helped start something. I still accept no blame for defending Qunari, and I don't miss the kinship of the people who oppose what I believe.
Never take the popular stance.
You're determined to be a thorn in someone's side. Good for you.
I'm the son of the Viscount. My actions are dissected no matter what I believe. I may as well try to do some good. If I offend, well, some people try very hard to be offended. There are other ways to see the world. The Qunari have shown me that.
Another time. Please
When
keep
things
it
are better.
quiet, Sirrah. The Viscount should be disturbed.
Oh, I can go through then.
Nothing like the smell of fresh ink. So
So there's nothing in here.
Ow! Parchment cut. Hope the day's treating you well, Sirrah.
A fine day, isn't it, Chell?
Indeed it is, Geralt.
Hello,
We'll
Aveline.
need to give them answers by tomorrow, Captain.
I'll have them. Dismissed.
The Seneschal was particularly vocal.
Dismissed. You'd think the Captain of the Guard could requisition a Templar or two, but no, that would be demeaning. Can't have them working for the people when eternity needs a nanny.
Not what you expected.
You had to know cleaning up this mess would be difficult.
It's not the challenge, it's the unending part. And really, I blame you. You poured money into a pot that was already full. Everything has shifted. Good job validating the fears of every anti-Ferelden and Kirkwall.
My success is your headache?
I didn't realize I was making it worse by getting ahead.
I'm just harassing you. Although you are a bit like the center of a hurricane. You've changed fortunes for many people, not always for the better.
You need more resources.
Sounds like you're spreading yourself pretty thin.
There are a lot of people in my charge. Someone has to look out for them.
You guard the guardsmen?
I don't turn people loose like Jevon. There's additional training, doubled patrols. Costs are up, but I've halved injuries. I'll take it and argue with Seneschal Bran later.
You knew Jevon left a mess.
After the last captain, you couldn't have expected this to be easy.
At least I had the guards on my side. Once they understood, they rallied. And those who didn't weren't fit to hold the crest. Stack friends against the enemies. I don't know if I came out ahead, but it's for the better.
You love it.
Grouse all you want. But the Aveline I know doesn't regret a second as captain.
They'd have to drag me out of here. And I'm sure some are lining up to try. You among them, I bet. Haven't had much time to follow you around. Not that I need to. I can trust that you at least try to do right. I'm with you if you need me, Hawke. Just say the word.
Oh, she's a friend of mine now, I guess. Yeah. Cool.
A fine day, isn't it, chap?
There's a
Good luck getting in.
party
I've been
selector,
waiting
yeah.
all day.
Carver looks different. You can't select him, but at least he's alive. Alright, so now I can
Good
go
luck
around
getting in. I've been waiting all day.
opening the chest.
Good day, Sirrah.
That's not really my thing.
Would you also like me to make pigs fly?
I mean, you could. Alright, I gotta get a little bit more points into that then for that. I can open that one chest that I saw over here. I think it was in here.
Strangely, this is the best place in the city for working shell games and changing forged coins.
Hey Ram, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you, Messiah. If only you humans didn't all look the same.
I had to meet the Viscount.
I was called to the keep on important business, Bowden.
Yes, I was hoping to catch you before you arrived. There's a gentleman waiting at the mansion. He insists on seeing you. He says his name is Dougal. Your mother thought it wise, I tell you, Messiah.
What does he want?
I paid Dougal years ago. Why would he be back now?
He wouldn't tell me, I'm afraid. He refused to come back another day, even after I told him repeatedly that I didn't know when you would return. He doesn't really seem like the most reputable sort, I'm afraid, even for a dwarf.
Is Mother alright?
You left him alone in the mansion with Mother.
My boy Sandal is with her. But, you make a good point. I'll run back right away. Before I go, may I simply say how grateful I am that you've allowed my boy to stay in your home. I said I would repay you for saving Sandal's life, and I shall serve you faithfully. It is good to know he is safe.
You don't need to serve
I
me.
didn't ask you to be my manservant, Bowden.
But I owe you a debt, and after what happened in the Deep Roads, I have no other way to repay you. I'll leave you to your business. Don't forget about your guest. Your mother claims he was eyeing the silverware.
You can't miss the keep. It practically screams nothing fun ever happens here.
The same thing that makes anything valuable. Someone's willing to pay for it.
This is Dragon Age 2.
I
It's,
didn't get where
well,
I am by
yeah,
showing
actually.
my hand.
It's not an MMO, but it's an
No,
RPG.
your hand isn't what I hear you've been showing.
It's a couple of years old now, but... Just checking if there's any chests in those cubby holes. Doesn't look like there is.
Not much to see here.
I guess this is my mansion.
You've settled in nicely.
It's been hard work to get here.
Indeed. Still, more coin never hurts, right? Say, if someone wanted to pass some work your way...
You can always ask me.
I'm listening, Aveline. What's the trouble?
A thorn in my side, inventing trouble and scaring people. Remember Emmerich, the Templar? He wants your help, and some sort of official sanction.
Official sanction?
For his investigation. He's convinced that every random murder in the past few years is connected, and he won't be quiet.
Why not check it out?
You don't think it's worth investigating?
I have. He even convinced one of my lieutenants to raid the Dupuis mansion. Nothing there. You wouldn't believe how much ass I had to kiss after that. Bloody hobbyist constable. Why can't he spend his declining years building a boat or something?
Are you sure he's wrong?
Seems like it should be easy to prove if there are bodies.
Kirkwall isn't the safest place. That doesn't mean everything terrible is related. There's no sense to that. Can't be.
I mean, he had a good start.
I seem to recall he had some good leads.
Then you won't mind chasing his threads. If it leads somewhere, I'll pick it up. Right now, he's just distracting my men. He's in the gallows. Do what you can. Thanks, Hawk. I'll try not to make a habit of this.
Oh, yo,
Yes, please do.
Why, hello again. Lovely home you have here. And may I say your mother makes for delightful company?
We're friendly people.
Another visitor. We've moved up in the world, Mother. Evidently so.
My apologies, Sarah. Your daughter and I simply have a bit of business to conclude.
I'll leave you two alone then. Be careful.
Darling woman. A shame that she spends so much time here alone.
Is that a threat?
Just what are you saying?
Allow me to get right to the point. I know all this came from Deep Road's treasure. I know you repaid me, but I think I deserve a larger share of your fortune. Fair's fair, right?
A little late for that, no?
Isn't this a conversation we should have had, say, 3 years ago?
What can I say? Things have gone poorly for me and I'm a bitter man. Give me another, 100 sovereigns and I'll go away. If you don't, I'll make things unpleasant. Simple enough, no?
Unpleasant how?
What do you mean by that?
Well, let's see. I think people would like to know just what happened to Bartrand, wouldn't they? I know he betrayed you, but nobody else does. Your partner disappears, and you end up rich.
Nobody cares about Bartrand.
There hasn't been a single question asked about that.
Yet. Questions could be asked. About you, about your red-headed friend in the city guard, about your sudden riches. Help me out, and my friends in the Carta will make sure the evidence I have never sees the light of day.
You're bluffing.
There's no evidence. There couldn't be.
Does it have to be real? I think it just has to raise enough questions. How badly do you want the eyes of the Templars upon you? Not very, I'll wager.
Here's the coin.
If this will satisfy you, then here.
Huh. Seems you've done better than I thought. Fair enough, my friend. Give my kind wishes to your mother. I'm sure we won't be seeing each other again.
We will not.
I came in and watered your plants. Your friend, Meryl. Well, that was nice of her. Fenris said Daenerys left this at the mansion. Its eyes follow me around the room. Creepy. The complete people's laws of Kirkwall. A friendly reminder from Aveline.
Remember,
those are the DLC
remember the next
things.
bit.
Is that Isabella? Who carves that into a stairwell?
What did she carve?
I should get some curtains. Handprints? Was someone swinging on the chandelier? Sandal. Never thought I'd have my own family crest. Lots of old things from Lothering in there. What's this? Oh, Anders' manifesto. Again. Poor Prince. I told him to stay off the bed. I think I'll let Sandal empty that.
Yucky.
That's Mother's room. I shouldn't intrude. Wish Bodahn would clean the fireplace. Says it reminds him of a mine shaft.
It's strange living here again. My childhood home. Now owned by my child. I do hope you've been upfront with me about really owning it. I don't want to be at the mercy of that wretched Dougal. It's nice to be here, though. To feel like an Amel again.
You are a whore.
I'm going to make the name Hawke one to be proud of in this city.
I don't doubt it. Your father would have said that, with that exact look, too. I just wish we could all be together as a family one more time. But I can't spend the rest of my life mourning Bethany and Carver. They're gone, and I can't bring them back. I guess I just need to start picking you out a suitable husband. I've been wondering if I shouldn't remarry. I'm sure the last thing you need is your mother watching over your shoulder every time you come home. But perhaps there is still life once your children have outgrown you.
I want you to be happy.
You've been through a lot. You deserve any joy you can find.
Thank you, love. No one could ever replace your father. But it is refreshing to think I could still be courted at this age. Seneschal Bran has a son about your age.
I like the doggy. Ruff, ruff, ruff.
Oh my god.
It looks like they're having a nice chat. Maybe Sandal picked up some Mabari speak from our time at the Hero of Ferelden's camp. If you need any enchantments, I'm sure my boy would be happy to help.
I can make it for you.
Oh, that dog. Well, maybe chew marks add character to the piece.
Hey Turbo, thank you for the follow and welcome to the stream. Oh, I missed the thing on the table. Cancel. Writing desk. Oh my god. Okay,
Type in,
let's
tell them to
accept
type
every
in better.
quest. Guess I've got a lot of people to see now. No problem. I hope you have a great night. Okay, so we need to get Isabella's friendship up a bit. And who else should I take? Let's take Fenris. Okie dokie, so.
Oh no.
There are still many refugees.
So, this relic you lost, how is it you don't know what it is?
It was in a box.
And you didn't open it? You managed to resist the urge?
It was locked. It was a locked box.
Hasn't stopped you before.
What do you want me to say?
Nothing. I just found it curious, that's all.
You found one of the Toharan's books. The pages are filled with secrets of blood magic. You feel a stirring of power as you look upon it. Well, I'm not anything about blood magic, so I will destroy the book. Aha. Of course, it's in a chantry as well. Got rid of those desire demons. Gonna have to upgrade my armor and weaponry as well. I'm pretty sure the story has advanced since that chapter.
I don't think I can do that.
Only that will possible.
Ah, you need to level up so I can open those complex chests. Please, Isabella. Oh, it's Sebastian again.
I thought it would end here. That young lady, Hawk, she decimated Flint Company. No survivors. Yet, now that I know who sent them, it's harder to see their deaths as justice.
Death is never justice.
Hawk? We were just talking about you.
Nothing bad, I trust.
Saying good things, I hope.
Many people in Kirkwall have good things to say about you.
I've learned who hired Flint Company. The Harrimans, a noble family of Kirkwall. They were my parents' allies. It's hard to believe they betrayed us like this.
Harriman?
I think I've met Lord Harriman.
No.
Lord Harriman used to be a good man, but he became rather strange in his dotage. He died some years back. His daughter took over the family, Lady Johane Harriman. They say she's become quite reclusive of late.
Why would they do that?
Any idea why they turned on you?
Money? Power? It's hard to say. Lady Harriman was always jealous of my family for being royalty when hers were mere nobility. But I can't imagine that pushing her into outright murder.
What do you intend to do?
Is there any peaceful way to resolve this?
If you treat the Harrimans like those mercenaries, you could start a war. Go carefully, Sebastian.
I must speak with Lady Harriman and find out what drove her to this madness. But I am the last of my line. I should not go alone and make myself a target.
I will go with you.
If I'm standing beside you, that should make her think twice.
Again, your interest in my plight humbles me. If you like, I can travel with you until you confront Lady Harriman. Otherwise, you can always find me here in the Chantry.
Okay. Where's he, a rogue? Okay. I'll give him all of his special abilities. I need to get a better bow for him. Does she have anything?
fault Sebastian for wanting to know why an old ally would turn against his parents. But I fear he's too impetuous. He may do something he regrets. Please, go with him, try to restrain him. If the Harrimans are guilty, they will receive justice from the Viscount. Sebastian need not take their punishment into his own hands.
How do we handle the Qunari?
What is the Chantry's stance on the Qunari presence here?
Would it help anything for us to get involved? Or is it more likely to light the kindling? If the Qunari act against us, the Templars will defend Kirkwall. Otherwise, we guard ourselves best by waiting.
Tell me about yourself.
How long have you been Grand Cleric?
I became a lay sister here when I was only a girl. My parents died of fever, and I was taken in by the Chantry. Eventually, I took my vows. After I had served for some time, the revered mothers agreed that I should travel to Orlais. The Divine herself appointed me Grand Cleric of Kirkwall. That was near 30 years ago.
Let's hear about my family.
You knew my grandparents?
I dedicated your mother into the Chantry. She was a beautiful baby. Your grandmother was a very proper lady, but she was beside herself that day. And your mother put a fist in my eye.
You should help the city.
Are you intending to stay neutral about the Qunari mages forever?
The Maker's time is not men's time. We do not need to rush.
I'll have to remember that line the next time I'm late.
The Chantry is not a domineering father with the whip always in hand. She is a gentle mother who knows her children learn best when allowed to learn themselves.
Okay. Wait, can he open those chests? He cannot.
We're here to serve.
Does that mean there's new enemies at nighttime now in this act?
You do have an opinion on mages, don't you?
Of course I do.
The Grand Cleric is a doddering fool. Kirkwall...
Mages don't worry me. And I don't believe the Templars when they say I should be worried. I'm more likely to be shanked in a bar than eaten by an abomination. You can hear those coming a mile away.
Suffer 1,000 wrongs. The Maker yet notices the smallest of deeds.
Is that an abomination coming to eat us? We should get out of here.
Abominations don't go... Frankly, I prefer the refugees.
Okay, so Fenris needs to talk. Good job I'm over here. Suppose I have to meet up with all of my companions.
So the Seneschal's tax collector won't be coming around again like you asked. Funny story.
I'll pass, but thank you for the help.
Spoil sport. Why you want to squat up here in Hightown is beyond me.
I like the view.
So do I.
Three years. There's still no sign of Denarius. I'm beginning to wonder if he's finally given up.
Are you sure?
This is his mansion, isn't it? He must know you're here.
Would you be surprised to learn that it isn't, in fact, his mansion? It belongs to a Tevinter merchant, one who has evidently given up on the place. Perhaps he is dead. Perhaps Denarius killed him. Either way, if Denarius is aware of my presence, he has done nothing.
Hopefully he has.
Isn't this what you wanted?
Yes, but... Tell me, what do you do when you stop running?
You build a life.
You start over. Isn't that what you want?
I don't know how. My first memory is receiving these markings. The lyrium being branded into my flesh. The agony wiped away everything. Whatever life I had before I became a slave, it's lost. I shouldn't trouble you with this. My problems are not yours.
You really don't remember?
You don't know who you were?
Fenris was the name Denarius bestowed upon me, his little wolf. If I once had another name or a family, then they were taken from me. But again, this is not your concern.
It could be.
I might be able to help with your problems. Or give you a few more.
Only a few.
The good kind.
Tempting. You're a beautiful woman, Hawk. Is there no one else who has your attention?
Just you.
Do you see anyone else here?
I'm an escaped slave and an elf living in a borrowed mansion. None of those things bother you.
I'm a mage, remember?
And I'm an apostate refugee. Does that bother you?
You have me there. You raise an interesting point. I'll have to consider it.
Go see Anders.
I've been neglecting my patients lately. I should spend more time here.
Oh yeah, you are a healer after all.
And that will, stop the itch.
Yes. Though I would stay away from women you meet in the port. Pirates tend to dock in unsavory places.
I heard that.
Just use the salve if it comes back.
Excuse me.
Things just keep getting worse. I had Templars practically on my doorstep the other night.
Were they after you?
The Templars are hunting you.
Not me specifically. They were just checking the refugee camps. But it's not like this place is a secret. It's only a matter of time.
I want to know about you.
We haven't talked much recently. How have you been?
Good. I just love what Knight Commander Meredith's done with the place. The curfews, the midnight raids on mages' families. Everyone I know forced into hiding so they won't be made tranquil.
How are you handling it?
Is that making it harder for you? With justice?
In the Fade, there is no time. Emotion rules everything. Justice doesn't know how to sit idle until the right moment to strike. and I can't say I have any greater patience. I fear what my anger has made of my friend.
You have to control it.
You chose to merge with him. Only you can make it work.
I am trying. I have not attacked the Templars openly. I've helped the mages here as best I can, but this impasse cannot last. You're at as much risk as I am. That's what I worry. What if your money and position aren't enough? What if the Knight Commander turns on you? Everything I've done to control this. I don't care. I would drown us in blood to keep you safe.
Stay in control.
I don't want to see you lose yourself. To the Templars or justice.
How much is left if you strip both those out? I'm sorry. I can't be anyone but who I am. There will be more violence. I know that. If you tie yourself to me, I'll only hurt you.
You're right.
You're getting in too deep here. And I can't follow.
It's better this way.
Apparently he's one of my best friends now.
Poor sods. Look at them. There's no hope in this place.
Can't go up to Lowtown. Won't let me near the market.
May Andraste guide you.
Appreciated.
Thank you, Davidson.
Mana.
Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the vote. I keep forgetting to summon my dog when I go into combat.
Need. Mana.
Oh dear, did he go down?
Stay away from me.
Okay. Whatever. You stay right there then. He definitely looks like a mage. Just making sure I haven't missed anything in Dark Town. Yeah, there we go.
I have. Going to spare, Messer. My children are starving.
Sure, why not?
I hope this helps.
Thank you. Make a smile on you. Do you have coin to spare, Messer? My children are starving.
Wait, can you keep just doing
I
this?
hope this helps.
Thank you. Make a...
Okay.
Is that supposed to be Andraste's face on your crotch?
What?
What?
That belt buckle thing. Is that Andraste?
My father had this armor commissioned when I took my vows as a brother.
I'm just not sure I'd want the Maker seeing me shove his bride's head between my legs every morning.
Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna go to Hawk's estate and then rearrange my armor because it feels like it's a tier down now.
Welcome home, Messer. Nothing new to...
Which, staffs. Okay. Oh, Meryl. Okay.
Your hound is a mark of nobility in Ferelden, is he not? I have heard that gaining a Mabari's loyalty is considered the ultimate proof of character there.
Thank you.
That's kind of you to say. I think we make a good pair.
The dog cares nothing for worldly power. The Maker would like to see us learn from them.
Don't let it go to your head.
Good puppy. Alright, so we had Anders, Sebastian, and Isabella. I'm thinking we just get rid of Sebastian and get Fenris, though. Yeah, sure. Go talk to Meryl.
By the Dread Wolf! Why is my house always such a mess when people are here?
Oh, okay.
It's clean sometimes, I swear.
I need to get her out anyway. For the, new stuff for her. One's a shitty one, but it'll do for her. Alright, so the Hangman for Varric. Isabella, Hangman, yeah. And Repentance is Sebastian. Okay. Never mind. To the Hangman.
Isabella, you look well.
Are you talking about the flush on my cheeks? It must be the whiskey. Do you remember the relic I told you about? The one I need to find? I've been following a lead. I'm so close I can taste it.
Are you sure?
Isn't that what you said last time?
Oh, you mean when I went digging for that stash?
Yes. That turned out to contain several badly written poems and an old boot.
It could have contained the relic. I just thought I'd let you know that I may soon be taking you up on that offer of help.
I'll do it for a kiss.
Do I get a kiss from the feisty temptress when I present her with the hard-won prize?
If you want. I'll even let you choose where I plant it.
Oh god, what have I just chosen?
I got it all.
Plus 25, oh. Yeah, she's definitely a friend now.
Why do you always win at cards?
Because I cheat, kitten. This trinket, it's elven, isn't it? From your clan. Don't bet anything you're not prepared to lose. Here, have it back. A jigger of your finest whiskey for my friend over here. The Hanged Man's finest isn't much, but it'll get you just as drunk as anything you'll find in Hightown.
That's not all.
And you'll wake up and find someone stolen your trousers.
That's when you know it's a party. I thought I'd have to watch myself around you, but as it turns out, you're all right.
Just alright?
That's mildly insulting, you know.
You know what I mean. You don't judge people. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You know, little things like that. If I had someone like you on board my ship when the storm hit, maybe we wouldn't have been shipwrecked.
It all worked out.
If you hadn't been shipwrecked, we wouldn't have met. That would have been a shame.
I'll drink to that.
Oh shit, yeah, she's well into the friendship.
So you were invested as a brother in the Chantry, right?
I had just taken my vows when I learned my family was killed.
But you gave sermons and took confessions and such, right?
Do you have something you wish to confess?
I just want to know, what do you say when people have questions? What's your answer when someone asks, so if Andraste preached freedom and ended slavery, why do you lock up mages and keep them as slaves?
No one ever asked that.
Need to put someone to sleep. I'm your man.
Sell everything that I picked up from the deep roads, apparently. He doesn't have any special items for me, so I presume I have to go around the merchants again, selecting some hero armor.
I'd like to, sweet thing, but I can't.
Soon, Isabella, soon you will be able to. Varric!
Just tell me if you hear more rumblings from the coterie about protection. Blondie's got enough trouble. Let me ask you something, Hawk. You made it into Hightown. I'd expect anyone else to get complacent, but you must have plans.
Just taking care of my family.
No plans yet. I'm simply trying to look out for my mother.
I suppose after the whole business with Carver, it's a good idea to hang on to what you've got. To be honest, I thought there might be a chance you'd want to go back to Ferelden now that things have calmed down. It's good to hear you're sticking around.
I can do some good here.
Kirkwall needs me.
If nothing else, you give this town respectability, my friend. So, we've got a whole city-state full of trouble to get into. Shall we get started?
Sure.
This is the best tavern in Kirkwall. It could use some cute dwarven serving girls, but otherwise,
It's perfect.
Okay.
Anyone knows Karen? Has he done anything wrong?
Alright, where does Sebastian need to go? There, apparently.
Do you really need me along for this?
Oh. Sebastian.
Pretty armor. The best outside of Orzammar.
I notice you talk about...
The finest.
vulgar things quite a bit.
Do you want me to stop? Do I make you uncomfortable?
It was just an observation, really.
It's a bad habit I picked up spending years with foul-mouthed pirates. Pirates only care about a small number of very specific things. The sea, strong drink, and booty. Both kinds.
Lovely, Isabella.
Good day.
Just checking the district.
The bar at the Blooming Rose looks very fine wine.
Let me have a look in here again. It's been a couple of years.
The guard wouldn't have taken my boy if he'd just been decent to him.
Go on up, sir. They're waiting.
Do you think Lucine will hire one of those oxmen?
Lucine would hire the maker if...
Not much loot in it.
Do you ever have any regrets?
About what?
Anything? Everything? I can't figure you out.
The past's past. I learned that young. If it can't bring you gold or giggles, what's the point in dwelling on it?
Maybe the chance to fix a mistake? Make things right again?
Hey?
I know it's white, but it's still
That was almost profound.
still nice for him to have. Got a mental note. I've got to have a mental note of where the chests are for when I get the ability to open them.
Is this getting you any closer to your ship?
Huh?
I just don't understand why you're working with Hawk. You don't seem to care about anything we do. What's keeping you here?
Mostly the Blooming Rose. I'm paid up to the end of the year. I'd hate not to use it.
The brothel?
What? Women can't go to brothels too? You're just not using your imagination. Oh, look. Now you are. You're cute when you're blushing.
Great. Okay, Sebastian, let's go.
That's strange. The door's wide open, and not a single guard posted.
This is not the Lady Harriman I remember.
More! You lazy son of a bitch! What's taking so long?
Flora?
Why does no one in this house care what I want? More wine, or I swear I will drown you in the dregs.
She doesn't even see us. This is no normal wine.
More logs. It must be molten. You, more coins. I want every scrap of gold in this house.
Please, monsieur!
There's nothing to fear. You'll be beautiful. Pour it over her.
Don't! You'll kill her! He can't hear me.
Perhaps I should be the one.
We must end this madness. I visited this house often as a child. They could not have concealed such goings-on.
Oh, okay.
Lower. I beg your pardon, Hawk. I did not mean to expose you to such things.
No apologies necessary.
No, the feather. Use the feather. Where have you been all my life? Today, I am more than a man. Come, felicitate me.
That's a great line. I should use that. Oh, I could get it embroidered on my blouse.
He has no idea we're here. I've known Ruxton Harriman my whole life. He's a complete prude.
That's my kind of prude.
Where's your brother? Let's ask him to join us.
Oh my god. No.
Now, you be the naughty apprentice, and I'll be the Templar torturer.
Let's see the
Oh, dear.
Right here.
Turn back. There is nothing here for you.
So now you see it.
Odd. When we watched you being a drunken ass, you ignored us completely.
You shall not enter.
Demons, temptresses. We must see what greater evil they were protecting. A ruin, so close to Hightown. I remember no such thing. In the shadows!
More of them! We stand together!
We should get going.
Is that the best you can do?
Ooh.
I'll deal with this.
Wait, I came from there, didn't I? Yeah. So, just check around here. Nothing there. So many bones down here.
Not going to happen. Go down! Run! While you can!
No loot from it? Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Loading.
just...
Why's it taking so long?
Starkhaven will not submit. I put that idiot Goran Vale into the prince's seat, but the other families won't heed him. I must marry him to Flora and solidify our hold. But I need more power.
I've given you much. Your desires run deep. You've already traded your husband and your children. What more can you offer?
What do you want with her?
What bargain have you made?
Who is this? Who are you? How did you get here? Sebastian!
You were my mother's friend. How could you murder her?
Such an ugly word. I prefer remove the only obstacle between her and her dreams.
This was your idea.
I could create such desires if I wished, but it's far easier to nurture those that already exist. The desire for power is easy to find. You and your friend both possess it, do you not? You both wish to rise.
I wouldn't betray my friend.
Not if it meant selling out my family.
How loyal were your friends to you? Everyone has a price. Everyone wants something.
Do not listen to her.
Oh, such a pious soul, masking so much ambition. Are you so different from my lady? You yearn for the same lands, the same power.
I am the rightful heir. She is a usurper and murderer.
You swore to put aside worldly goods and ambitions, but they couldn't stop you from wanting them.
Don't listen to her.
You'll be a good ruler. It doesn't matter what you do to get there.
I'm not acting from ambition. I only want what's best for my people.
For the people who'll adore you. All those smiles they used to save for your brother. Now you'll be the shining prince. All you have to do is kill anyone in your way.
Let us return to the Chantry. I must pray for Lady Harriman's soul. Let us return to the Chantry. I must
Sebastian, I am so sorry is such an inadequate word. When I think what Mother made us do, what those creatures made us do.
We were friends, Flora.
It was like a cloud came down on me. All I could feel or think was what the demon allowed.
What happened to the valet?
Did your mother order the attack on Sebastian's family?
She did. You know Mother, Sebastian. She was always jealous of your parents. The demon twisted that until it was all she could think of. She was determined to seize Starkhaven for herself.
How did the demons get here?
Was your mother a mage? How did she find this demon?
We've never had magic in our line. Perhaps that made Mother too confident. She thought she could deal with the demon and not fall prey to it.
Right. It is demons who should be feared, not mages.
Those ruins there were unearthed when we expanded the house. Mother found the demon inside. I think she had signed her bargain before we even knew.
You were all victims.
Don't blame your mother. The Desire Demon made this happen.
I doubt many people will be so forgiving. If it takes every last coin my family owns, I will make reparations to everyone we've wronged. Starting with you, Sebastian. We weren't the only ones vying for Starkhaven. If you face more opposition, you have my support.
It will not make up for what happened.
No, that's true.
I'll tell you when I need you.
Very interesting.
All right, let's just get this over with.
A duel?
No, the sermon. The finger-wagging, the guilt trips. Telling me how an unexamined life isn't...
We're here to serve the Maker, sir.
I had hoped prayer might cleanse me of the Desire Demon's touch, but I still hear her voice so clearly. I feel like I've bathed in filth that will never come off.
You did nothing wrong.
You acted honorably. Why are you ashamed?
The demon didn't lie. I used to be bitterly jealous of my brother. I wanted to be prince. Now everything he had is mine. And he lies in ashes. I keep asking myself, do I want this because it's right? Or simply to have what I never thought I could?
Never thought you could.
Aren't you your parents' heir?
I'm the youngest son of 3. My parents were rather traditional. They wanted the heir and the spare, and I was left in the cold. They put me in the Chantry to prevent my competing with my brothers.
You didn't join by choice?
You seem very dedicated to the Chantry. You were put there against your will?
At first. But it was the best thing that could have happened. I was a wild boy, a shame to my family. The Chantry made me a man. It's odd. When I wanted to rule, I would have been terrible at it. Now that I might be decent, I don't know if it's the right thing to do.
Listen to your heart.
It's the wisdom not to want power that lets you use it wisely.
You didn't feel what that demon stirred in me. It cannot be right to lead any army to Starkhaven with such doubt in my heart. I owe you more than I can say, Hawke. I will offer my service to you here before I move on.
Hello.
Your service, huh?
I can think of a few services for you to perform.
What? Why are you smiling like... Oh. Oh my. That's not what I meant. I think I need to pray. A lot.
I think this is yours.
My grandfather's bow, but where did you get it?
One of the Flint Company mercenaries had it.
Thank you. It's hard to mourn the loss of a thing while my family lies dead. But I did think of it.
Is the bow special?
What's the story behind that bow?
As the youngest son, it was my place to lead Starkhaven's militia. But I never had a talent for swordplay. Too much getting hit. My grandfather said the bow is the wise man's weapon. You can defend your city without opening its gates. Grandfather said the day I could pull the string on his bow, it would be mine.
So the bow is yours.
Then why didn't you have it with you?
I was 13 when my grandfather made me that promise. I would rise at dawn to practice my shots until I could hit the eye slit of a helmet from the top of the ramparts. But my parents pledged me to the Chantry before I could show him.
Tell me about your grandfather.
Were you and your grandfather close?
He was a man of the world, Prince of Starkhaven. But he had the most unshakable faith in the Maker. When my parents threatened to pledge me to the Chantry, he told me he'd gladly trade his title for a life of contemplation. The Maker ordained a place for each of us, I remember him saying. We have only to serve.
I wish I could have help.
I'm sorry I never got a chance to meet them. To save them.
I know. You're a true friend, Hawke. You brought me this to remember and honor them. But if I could bring back our lowest servant by snapping it in half, I'd do it without regrets. You seem very angry.
We're here to say...
Why would anyone shop? Instead of an actual store.
There's another merchant down there, I think. Oh, see, she has 2 armor improvements. He has 2 as well.
Quality armor. The best outside of Orzammar.
Are you the smith?
I'm a smith.
Smith is your name?
Is Smith your name or your profession?
Yep.
No,
I'll be going now.
People live here.
How dreadful.
I was hoping you'd come. You did so much for my Fainriel already, but I visited him among the people, but he turned me away. I know the demons still plague him, and now they've taken him. 2 days ago, Fainriel went into a nightmare and hasn't returned.
A nightmare?
He can't be woken up?
The Keeper says he is near death. His lips still fog a mirror, but that is all.
Has anyone gone after him?
Surely there are mages who can pursue him in the Fade.
I have contacted Keeper Marathari. The Dalish have an ancient ritual that might help, but it requires someone Fainriel trusts to enter the Fade to free him.
How can I help?
I have braved the Fade before. Perhaps I can aid him.
You have been so kind to us. Fainriel thinks of you as a true friend. Marathari is coming to perform the ritual that will bring Fainriel back. His childhood things here will help anchor him.
Frolic through dreams? Sounds like an experience. I'm game.
Enter the Fade. Hawke, don't do this. The Golden City was corrupted from such folly.
I've already called for the Keeper. We need to begin the ritual as quickly as possible. Would you like to stay here or return when she arrives?
I'm ready to...
This is too urgent to delay.
You have been far kinder than I had any right to expect.
I came quickly, Ariane. I did not wish to tell you by letter how grave your son's situation is. The magic he possesses makes him what the Tevinters called Somniari, a dreamer. Dreamers have the power to control the beyond, what humans call the Fade. Fainriel is the first in 2 ages to survive.
First to survive?
Why are they so rare?
Dreamers have great power in the Fade. They attract demons. Luckily, most prove too frail of mind to survive a demon's possession. A dreamer abomination would be near unstoppable.
The Beyond?
Is there a difference between the Beyond and the Fade?
They are the same. By either name, the Fade is the realm of spirits, Thedas' heart, while the mortal realm is its strong arm. The demons who live there covet the bodies of mortals and seek to possess them. Only mages ever touch the Fade in a waking state. Others see it in dreams.
Tell me about the ritual.
What exactly are we going to do here?
The elves of the Dales were experts in the Somniari arts. They could even help those with no power enter the Fade. I have done my best to recreate the ritual. We will use Fainreal's childhood home as a focus to draw him back through the veil.
A dreamer?
What can a dreamer do?
Dreamers are unique for their ability to enter the Fade at will, without the aid of Lyrium. In the Fade, they can shape dreams, and even affect the world beyond the veil. Tevinter Somniari used to enter the minds of sleepers and slay them in their dreams.
Let's start the ritual.
Just send me into the Fade.
I told you her courage was legendary.
Now, Ariane, please excuse us. We must prepare.
Oh, of course.
There is more, I must tell you, that is not for her ears.
About a son?
Is Fainreal in danger?
Indeed. And the danger may not come from what you think. Fainreal cannot become an abomination. The destruction he would cause is unimaginable. If you cannot save him from the demons, you must kill him yourself. A death in the Fade will make him what your circle calls tranquil. He will be no threat after.
And
I will not let him become a danger.
I wish you luck. Now, gather a team, and we will begin. Choose carefully, for all will face temptation.
I cannot join you in this. The Fade is no place for men of faith.
I never give in to temptation.
I worry what a journey to the Fade might bring out in me.
Let us begin.
I think that should be okay.
I had not thought to return in such a way. It is good to feel the breath of the Fade again, not the empty air of your world.
Justice, I presume.
We're just here for a visit, so don't get too homesick.
I am Justice. Anders has told you of me. Come. I sense Fainreal's mind straining. We will not have much time.
Uh-huh. I've got to catch it when it stops. Missed it. There we go. Lovely. Okay, so I need to get 2 red in the middle with this one. Okay. Yeah, cool. Empty room.
Well, it's rare to see 2 forgotten magics in one day. It's usually a slow place, the Fade. Not many surprises. I wasn't sure I'd like this one, but it has potential.
The Demon of Sloth. It exists to make men forget their purpose and their pride. Do not relax around it.
Call me Torpor. I have a proposition that might interest you.
I don't work with demons.
I will not give in to temptation, fiend.
Have it your way.
More codex. Now what?
My people, I present to you our hope. His features may mark him as human, but in his heart beats the blood of the Dales. He came to us to learn his heritage, to release the power from a lineage as ancient as our race.
I don't know what to say.
She's a demon.
That's not the Keeper, Fainreal. Demons can take on other forms.
He lies. The first enchanter is a pawn of the Templars.
No. Silence, demon! Weren't you... Keeper Marethari warned me of this. You're not the Keeper. Mother's people have no circle, but they don't consort with demons.
You... Why did you interfere?
With my power joined to his, Fainreal would have changed the world.
Only as your slave.
There can be no honest deal with a demon.
No. You think I will lie then, when I offer your friends what Fainreal turned down? You think this slave would choose you over his freedom?
Cast your eyes elsewhere, demon. I won my freedom from the Magisters long ago.
But you fear them still. They have left their marks on your body and your mind. With my aid, you could be free forever. You could have power enough to challenge any who would chain you.
Don't listen, Fenris.
If you accept, you are no better than the magistrates.
But to face them as an equal, what would you want from me?
A moment of your time, nothing more.
Wounded.
That's it, Fenriel. Hard on the downstroke, then lift. Good. I'll have you scribing all my letters soon. If I'd known you were such a brave lad, I'd have brought you into the business years ago.
Does that mean I can come with you to Antitha, Father? Mother said maybe this summer. Right, Mother?
He abandoned you.
Your father never wanted anything to do with you. Don't trust him.
Why are you lying to me?
Don't listen, son. She's always been ashamed of you. She wanted you gone, so she could go back to the dailies. I'm the one who loves you.
But why can't I remember you?
It's a demon.
It's not your father, Fenriel. You're trapped in the Fade by a demon.
A demon? No. No, I want this.
Then remember this is who took away them.
Only thing you ever wanted.
Ah!
You turned him against me.
Oops.
Complete accident. I was trying to help, honest.
Take away my pets, and I'll take away yours. How loyal are these friends you drag into the Fade? Would your pirate queen stay if the open water beckoned? What do you say, sweetheart? A two-mast brigantine, square main topsail, 100 well-built lads to answer your every whim. I know you've been looking for a stiff masthead.
Don't fall for that.
This is a demon, Isabella. Don't let it tempt you.
Well, if it wasn't a demon, I wouldn't think it could grant wishes.
The Silence Call 2 awaits in Kirkwall Harbor. I'll be under the firs in the captain's quarters.
I like big boats. I cannot lie.
I can't spend another moment in this place. The screaming. Everywhere, all I hear are the nightmares of people dying, fleeing, gnawing their own arms off to escape. This is a world of monsters. And they all want me. Please, help me escape. Help me die.
You won't die.
If I kill you here, I only destroy your mind. You will become a tranquil.
I was afraid of that for so long. I can't even remember why. To live. To sleep without dreaming. To never hear a demon's whisper. It is a blessing as great as standing at the Maker's side. Do it. Put the knife in my heart.
I won't kill you.
You can master this talent, Fenriel. You don't have to let it destroy you.
The Dalish do not have what I need. Perhaps Tevinter. If these powers can be trained, it would be there. I can do this.
Fenriel has mastered his powers.
Then he lives. You saved him. I cannot thank you enough. Keeper Marathari, may I return with you to the Sunderlands? I would like to ask for my son's forgiveness.
Of course. It was you who chose to stay away.
Fenrir is leaving.
He must go elsewhere to train. There is no one in Kirkwall to help him. He asked me to say goodbye.
My son? No. I must find him before he goes.
It is wise for him to seek guidance. Kirkwall cannot provide what he needs. I truly did not think what you did was possible. You are a rare human indeed.
And I must apologize for my weakness. I would have thought myself above such influence.
Does this mean I'm not getting my ship? Bugger it all.
I find there's nothing like being possessed to keep you on the straight and narrow.
Your friends awakened here some time ago. We all have weaknesses the demons find. You accomplished a miracle with Fainrail. This book belonged to the last dreamer of our tribe. It has a rare magic beyond price. Please, accept it with my gratitude.
You should have lived in Tevinter. You'd be happier there. Is there something you want, Anders?
You want some...
You really don't have the temperament for a slave.
Is that a compliment or an insult?
I'm just wondering how your master didn't kill you.
How have the Templars not killed you?
I'm Chuck.
Hawk, the new scion of the Amel family. Congratulations. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Do you have any work for me?
Is there anything I can help the Templars with?
Oh, you're kind to offer, but after what happened with Tirani 3 years ago, the Knight Commander has closed ranks. Our own men undergo weekly questioning, and she's eliminated all work with outsiders. It's hard to keep recruitment up enough to maintain our numbers.
How do you feel about Kunari?
Everyone seems concerned about the Kunari. What's the Templar stance?
They are heathens. They will stop at nothing less than the eradication of the Chantry. But we can't know the immediate goals of the Kunari in Kirkwall. Should it come to open conflict, we are the largest army in the city. We will be the ones to lead its defense.
I want to meet Meredith.
I keep hearing about the Knight Commander. When do I get to meet her?
I'm afraid she's become more reclusive since you came to Kirkwall, Hawk. These last 3 years, especially, she's been very suspicious of outside influences. I almost wonder if something happened.
They're still in quarantine.
My best friend just failed his harrowing. They killed him on the spot.
You lied to me, but we caught these apostates anyway.
Yes, they found us. I'm sure you're not surprised.
They got
After
Grace
you
and
turned
the
us
others,
loose with no
brought
aid,
them
no
back here.
food, only a moment's head start. Where else could we end up?
I tried to help.
You're looking well. My store is much better stocked thanks to you. If you're interested in hunting down more ingredients, I can make other creations. And of course, I'll pay you for your work.
Okay, I'll do it.
Sure. Just let me know what you need.
Perfect. I have a list of ingredients right here.
We have a wide array. Of potions and magical items.
Okay, well, I need to make some money again.
Hello, Emmerich. Aveline says you need my help again.
I've spent the past few years continuing my investigation into the murders of Ninette, Marin, and the other women. I believe I finally have a suspect. A man called Gascard Dupuis.
What do you need me?
Is this man in hiding? Am I to find him for you?
No, I know where Dupuis is. I just can't get to him. When I became convinced of his guilt, I went to the city guard and demanded that they do something. The guards raided his mansion and found nothing. They were forced to apologize, and I was reprimanded. Meredith forbade me from continuing my investigation. But she didn't say I couldn't seek outside help.
Who else is looking into this?
Were you the only person investigating these murders?
Yes, unfortunately. The Templar Order believes this is a matter for the City Guard. And the City Guard, well, they rejected my evidence and dismissed the murders as isolated incidents. They don't care either. Women are dying out there, and no one's doing anything.
Okay. Did you show anyone the bones?
I retrieved a sack of human remains for you. Didn't you show it to the guard?
I did. They said the remains could have been gathered together by scavengers looking for bits of gold and jewelry. They said there was no way to tell if the remains even belonged to the missing women. I had no choice but to continue the investigation on my own.
Tell me about your suspicions.
What have you learned about Gascard Dupuis?
He's a reclusive nobleman who's rarely seen outside his estate in Hightown. He knew 2 of the murdered women and made inquiries about the others. It cannot be a coincidence.
Maybe you're right.
It should be investigated at least.
Thank you. I faced nothing but ridicule. To hear someone say that is encouraging.
I will help you.
What do you need me to do?
I knew I could count on you. You'll need to go to Gascard Dupuis' estate after nightfall. Please figure out what Dupuis is hiding. If he's innocent, find evidence to prove me wrong. It's just that simple.
We have no scheduled appointments at this time, apprentice.
Alright.
I don't think it's a coincidence.
So this relic you mentioned losing...
You have pretty eyes.
I have pretty eyes.
You elves have such pretty eyes. Even the men. It makes me want to pluck them out and wear them as a necklace.
I wouldn't suggest trying.
Oh, I would never try. Not without reason, of course.
Forget I said anything.
The Maker guides my hand.
Maker, turn his gaze on you, child. Be careful. Look at someone wrong here, and you'll get a knife in the back.
Feel free.
Oh, damn.
To look at my merchandise, if you've the coin.
What do you need, love? Package delivery?
I'm Hawk. I got a letter from some mage friends.
I see. Check the back of the board for our special rates.
Why are you aiding mages?
Helping apostates is dangerous. If the Templars caught you...
One of my sisters is a mage. A gentle child, so generous. She was made tranquil last year. Templars claimed she was a danger. Now, it's like she's not there. That shouldn't be forced on anyone.
How can I help?
I won't stand by while mages suffer.
Bless you, love. The board has all the details. Should you take care of something, just drop by.
Alright, so I need to get some more gold together to purchase those. Could sell them. Still need another gold though for that. Let's see what we can find.
You are Hawk. A patrol went missing along the Wounded Coast. The Arashok says you have some semblance of honor. So tell me, did you kill them?
And if I confess?
If I did kill them, why would I tell you? You'd just attack me.
I seek an answer to a question. What has happened to the missing Karatam? Vengeance is not relevant to this task.
No, I'm innocent.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I believe you. If you are not responsible, I waste my time here.
It's hard to tell, but do they seem grouchier than usual?
You go ahead. I have something I should do.
Okay, I'm going to see the Arashok.
No time for distractions, Isabella. I have business here.
Well, you can go right ahead.
Interesting.
Sarah Hawk.
Messer?
Last we met, I did not know your name. Did not care to. You have changed your fortune over the years. The Qunari have not. I offer a courtesy, Hawk. Someone has stolen what he thinks is the formula for Gatlock. You will want to hunt him.
You're hiring me?
Sounds like the recovery should be worth something to me.
1,000 lives. The stolen formula was a decoy. Sarkamek, a poison gas, not explosives. A small amount is dangerous enough to your kind, but if made in quantity, perhaps by someone intending to sell it.
That merchant, Javaris.
Would he be cautious? Or would he assume success and make enough to threaten a district? A courtesy, Hawk. You will want to hunt him.
Okay, what is the effect of the gas?
So, how dangerous does this fake mixture become?
It is not a threat to Qunari. For your kind, it is as dangerous as those who breathe it.
Can you elaborate?
The gas kills, but first it turns allies against their own in blind rage. So, the greater the skill of those sent against us, the more dangerous they become to their own people.
Hard to control at the best of times.
It is no longer our problem.
Why send me?
I barely spoke to you 3 years ago. Why give me this warning?
You are capable, but I have yet to decide if you are capable of understanding. Save your streets from this fool dwarf, then we will talk.
So you just leave the decoy laying around?
We did not make it easy. 3 Qunari died defending it, enough to impart a sense of worth. If the real formula were at risk, Akyun would demand that we protect it to the last of us.
Did anyone see the feed?
It took Javaris long enough to come up with this. Are you sure it was him?
Others have asked for the Gatlock, but only he chose to delude himself beyond no. Is 3 years so long to a hateful fool? I have no way of understanding such weakness. His crime seems obvious. Further evidence could be the deaths of many. I wouldn't wait.
Thank you for the warning.
I appreciate you bringing this to me.
I have long thought this city would destroy itself. This would only hasten the inevitable. Panahedon, Hawk. It will be interesting to see if you die.
So, hunting a thief. Asking at the coterie would be a good bet.
So you freed a group of slaves?
Would-be slaves. They weren't slaves yet.
Still, you did the right thing.
Turn up your bird?
You're selling the assets of Javaris Tintop.
We are. Limited districts, limited contracts. Keeps territory clear and separate from the start. He had a meager lot, but he skipped with dues outstanding. So up it goes.
It's important I find him.
There's a lot riding on finding Javaris. Can you help?
The members of our little fellowship expect privacy. But he skipped out on paying me, too. Javaris left in a hurry. I'd put him at Smuggler's Cut if he's avoiding patrols. It empties at a cave outside town. Tell him I said, don't come back.
Javaris doesn't exactly sound like a mastermind at work here.
Talk to Varric and Isabella and something else.
Worry about.
You're mine!
Mana! Can't keep this up.
Every bone in my body.
Let me out.
Get back!
I'm coming! This is my favorite part!
Can't keep this up.
Oh, this will be fun! Never taunter me!
Mana! I'll deal with this. Mana! Gotcha! Ha! I'm exhausted.
You're such a slave driver.
That's enough!
Anyone need healing?
Now you fall!
can she open that?
Would you also like me to make pigs fly?
Okay. Still a bit off.
Calm yourself, Javaris. You're not dead yet.
You? Granny's garters, she would hire you. I can't buy a break on discount. You know what? Go ahead. Take my head and pike it back to that sodding elf. I need the rest.
Elf?
What in blazes are you talking about?
But you don't know? Then what? You're tracking for the Qunari? Then she did it. That elf got them after me for nothing. Bitch born.
The obvious thief was perhaps a bit too obvious.
Look, I'm minding business, same old. And out of the blue, some elf tries to kill me. Says she's got the Qunari powder and I'm her cover. I slipped her, hired some bodyguards, and ran for it. And now you're here. Great.
So where is the elf?
So far, all I see is you.
Leaving the other person behind is the first step in running away. Sorry if that's inconvenient. Here. Want to drag Dark into light? I had a man follow her. The elf's in Lowtown. I just want to get out with my dead guards. Thanks for that.
Then get going.
Better luck wherever you're bound, Javaris. The farther the better.
Right. Got me a rosy future to plan out. Think I'll start by selling some boots. Sodding bunch of... Take a long breath on a short shaft, you blasted dog lord inroaders.
Okay.
All of you, I can't fight the damned air. You want to live, stay out.
Is there something I can do?
Wait. Messer Hawk. Maker, please. The street is death. There was a cloud that drove people mad, and now a seeping mist that kills. All I can do is warn people. If someone like you dies on my watch, I'm right stuffed.
I'll handle it.
Easy, son. Keep your post. This is my risk.
But... shit.
Very strong. We need to find the source.
This should do the trick on those barrels.
Now you fall!
Yeah, she was right. The poison got the leaves.
And everyone else, it seems.
Go down!
I can't keep this up.
How about you?
Easy. I'm just trying to find out what happened.
Is that Sarah Hawk? You have enemies. I'm glad it's you, really. These poor people. You are a much better target.
Why do this?
Explain yourself, now.
Qunari take my people. My siblings forget their culture, then go to the Qun for purpose. We're losing them twice. So I get some help from your people. We'll take the Qunari Thunder, make some accidents, and make them hate it. But this is all wrong.
You wanted people to die?
You were going to kill people anyway. That's not funny at all, really.
It can still work. They're hidden in your city. They'll enrage the faithful and make sure the Qunari are blamed. Me, I'm finished. I just need a few more bodies. A few more.
That's enough!
Time to tell the Arashok how he was right. And wrong.
Survivors are finally creeping out. Thank you, Messiah Hawk.
Can I get that thing?
Make her turn his gaze on you, child.
We'll be glad to be back on the waves.
I hope so.
So what's with that magical fisting thing you do?
What?
Sorry.
You
There we
know,
go.
when you stick your hand into people.
Oh, that. Yes, it's, talent.
You could make so much coin with that.
Yes, I'm sure you can make some coin by fist.
Is that the hour? Maker, I am tired. But go on without me.
So, I was wrong about our thief.
It appears so.
They say we were careless with our trap, that this is our fault. But even without the Sarkamek, there would have been death. This elf was determined to lay blame at our feet. Selfishness, want, denial. How do you allow this to continue?
Seems you're just as despised.
Most of Kirkwall hates you as much as you hate being here.
Since we arrived, I have seen nothing but greed and weakness. Dwarves, humans, elves, just festering. No order, no goal. You are one of the few I have met with any ability. And yet this too was random, a result of selfishness. I cannot fathom how a mire like this can be justified. We are hated? How do you not hate yourselves and this chaos?
Weakness provides opportunity.
I agree. It's a mess.
But you don't see that as a problem?
I see it as an opportunity, and I intend to take full advantage.
Karastan are soldiers. The Qun made it so. They can never vary from that assigned path, never be other than they are meant to be. But they are free to choose within that role, to accept and succeed, or deny and die. Glory is clear and defined. It is an undeniable certainty. What full advantage can you take without that authority?
Did you come to convert us?
Have you come here to proselytize? To convert?
No. Foundering here was unexpected. I have purpose other than watching you rot. Your kind may force our role to change, if the Qun demands.
She's take elves.
She was angry to see her people losing their culture by claiming yours.
We accept those who submit to the Qun. The weak naturally seek the strong. It doesn't matter. We did not come equipped to indoctrinate. I am here to satisfy a demand you cannot understand.
It's been a long time.
It will take as long as needed. No ship is coming. There is no rescue from duty to the Qun. I am stuck here.
What?
You keep going on about that, but never say anything.
Should I argue the wind? Very well. Filth stole from us. Not now, not the Sarkamek, years ago. A simple act of greed has bound me. We are all denied Parvolin until I alone recover what was lost under my command. That is why this elf and her shadows are unimportant. That is why I do not simply walk from this pustule of a city. Fixing your mess is not the demand of the Qun, and you should all be grateful! Thank you, human, for your service. Leave.
He's on the edge. The Viscount should know.
Why do you keep
I never
disappearing,
have
Isabella?
affairs with my crew.
Okay.
Once they see you naked with your ass in the air, they think they don't have to take orders. Men. Oh, you have to be twice as tough to earn half as much respect.
So did the crew member mutiny? I mean, after you... You know.
Oh no. I had the offending member removed. That got rid of the attitude. Oh, look, it's Hawk. We need to talk. Ugh, bugger. I knew this was coming. I'm sorry I abandoned you in the Fade. That was foolish of me. I mean, I didn't even get the ship in the end.
Forgive you.
I don't blame you. I understand what it's like to be under the influence of a demon.
You... what? That's it? No angry rant? Are you trying to get me to jump into bed with you? Because it's working.
I don't have to try.
You mean you weren't ready to jump into bed before?
Oh, yes. Good point. I'm far too predictable.
That you are.
I have something for you. Ooh, what's this?
Oh, isn't that just the cutest thing?
Best thing is below decks.
You can't see it, but below deck there's a perfect replica of you with a dozen sailors in attendance.
You tease. I'm sure there isn't. It is a worthy goal to work towards, however. Thank you, Hawk. This was a thoughtful gesture.
Oh, she's
This
definitely
one,
happy.
I was sailing to Lemerin, and there was a fight between two of my men. It was over a dice.
Barrick!
Hawk, I've got some news. You might not want to be near anything breakable when I tell you, though.
You can tell me anything.
Varric, whatever you have to tell me, it'll be fine.
I know. I've had an ear out for Bartrand. After the Deep Roads, he ran to Ravain, probably because he knew I couldn't track him. But I hear he might be back in Kirkwall. He called in loans from a few of his contacts in Hightown.
Do you know where he is?
Was he staying in Hightown, or just passing through?
If my information is good, and it's always good, he has a house there. Which gives us a good shot at having a word with my dear sweet brother.
How do you feel about it?
How are you holding up, Varric?
Me? My no-account backstabbing brother is practically in arm's reach. I couldn't be better.
Are you sure it's him?
Would Bartrand really risk coming back here?
I think we both know by now that Bartrand would risk anything for money. There's a much better market here for that trinket he stole. And all his contacts are in Kirkwall.
Fine then, let's go see him.
We need some answers from your brother.
I agree.
Bianca's been missing him something awful. Let's stop by his new house. Welcome him back to the neighborhood and all that.
Oh, yeah.
I've got something for you, Varric.
My father's signet ring. Where did you find it? Bartrand pawned it off to pay for the expedition. I can't believe you found it. This sounds exactly like the sort of fake thing I'd make up about you.
You're welcome.
I'm just glad I found it.
Our mother was... well, no word adequately describes an old dwarven lady's rage. Well, maybe now my contact at the gates of Orzammar won't ignore my letters. Harrimont is hoping that if he just shuts his eyes tight and wishes, the real world will go away. Anyway, I owe you one, Hawke. Remind me later to put you on my tab.
Fenris.
Is this going anywhere?
It will if you let me finish. So, there's a knife fight.
Who are you?
I'm here to report Sir Conrad.
I know him. Did he do something? Or something?
Are you alright?
One moment. Are you well?
Oh, it's just that, you know, it's hard to think sometimes. But I will do my duty. If you've seen something, suspicious, let me know.
He's been sacrificing goat.
Last night, I saw Sir Conrad sacrificing a goat to the great demon. Then he howled loudly.
What? Demon?
Oh, yes. He was carrying on about how much he wanted to do demon-y things.
What? No.
I tell you, that Sir Conrad must be an abomination or something.
This needs to be reported. I can't believe it.
Oh my. What does Anders need?
It's not a pretty home, but... Have you noticed how many Tranquil are in the gallows courtyard lately? And don't tell me I'm just sensitive to it. I've been watching, and every day there are new Tranquil, selling their bloody wares. Good mages too. People I know pass their harrowing.
That's against the law.
Doesn't Chantry law say that mages who pass their harrowing can't be made tranquil?
Exactly. The Templars are using the right of tranquility to silence those who speak against them. They're working on a deliberate plan to turn every mage in Kirkwall within the next 3 years.
We must stop them.
Who's behind this?
The plan is the work of a Templar named Sir Ulrich. I've had a run-in with him myself. He's the one who did the ritual on Karl. Nasty piece of work. Likes to make mages beg.
A run-in?
What happened between you and Sir Ulrich?
I've been involved with an underground resistance. Mages living free in Kirkwall who help others escape. I can't tell you any more, for your sake and theirs. You have too much involvement with the Guard and nobility. Suffice it to say, I've been in the gallows. I've seen his work firsthand.
Tell me about the Templar.
What else do you know about Sir Ulrich?
The Knight Commander is at least sincere in her convictions. However misguided, she believes she's helping people. Sir Ulrich's a sadist. Cold-blooded as a lizard. He likes to experiment on mages. Find out what it takes to push them into the arms of demons.
Well, I mean, Templars aren't really that bad, no, but...
Perhaps the blame can be laid on him, and not every Templar.
That's what I hope. If we bring the evidence of this plan to light, There must be men who'll stand against it. Perhaps even the Grand Cleric will finally be forced to act.
Yes.
My friends in the Mage Underground know a way inside. A secret entrance under the walls of the gallows. Come with me tonight, please. Help me find the evidence of Sir Ulrich's tranquil solution.
Tranquil solution?
What do you mean, tranquil solution?
That's what he calls it. His idea of a peaceful solution to the mage problem. To sunder the mind of every mage in the Free Marches. I'm told he's bringing his proposal to Val Royeaux, to the Divine herself. He would turn every mage in Thedas into a drooling simpleton under his command.
Of course I'll help.
I wouldn't let you face this alone.
You are the one bright light in Kirkwall. I've always feared being made tranquil. Now, more than ever, I'm ready to go when you are. Our entrance is concealed not far from here.
Right, well, I think that's all I've time for today, so I'll save it there. And I shall catch everyone tomorrow, hopefully. Thank you ever so much for watching, and bye-bye.